Hi, everyone. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing a Mercury sextile Saturn reading for you. So, Mercury sextile Saturn happens on May 12th and May 19th. So, we're going to read the cards, see how this, all unfolds for you. It's a very powerful time for getting things done and really focusing the mind. So, they're absolutely fantastic days to mark in your calendar as like I can tackle things that once seemed overwhelming. So, just know that. Okay. So if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps this channel immensely, and I thank you so much for doing so. The YouTube algorithm really pays attention to it. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, Libra, let's take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you with this meditation that is going to be along with a nice loud sound. So, again, take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of, Libra, during this time. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. We have two. We have the Ace of Wands reversed, and we have the Prince of Swords. Now, we're the Prince of Swords. We're represented by the swords in the minor arcana. And so when the Prince of Swords comes in and says, hey, be mindful, it's that we can want to be moving too fast. We can have a little bit too many questions coming up. Mercury is questions, it's sharing of ideas. Saturn is structure and order. So we're going to find during this time that traditional values are something that really draw us in, but we're also going to find that we want to share everything. We can fall down rabbit holes very, very easily. And what the Prince of Swords is showing me is that that's just something we have to be mindful of. We have to be aware. We can also act without fully thinking things through. So, again, that's coming through as something we need to be aware of during this time. This is an excellent time to get things done. This brings tremendous focus, and we can see the large scale, coming together of plans and ideas. And it is a time of executing things to the best of our ability. We can bite off way more than we can chew during this time. And then because we're overwhelmed or we're now discouraged with ourselves, we can be like, forget it, I'm just not good at anything, and throw it all away. So just be very mindful of this. We need to pace ourselves. We need to balance ourselves, which is always a key thing for a Libra, a really obvious key thing for a Libra. And then as we go forward, we can pick up momentum, but start slow. On the 12th and on the 19th, we can really get things done. And the energy around those times are also going to be very powerful with getting things done and moving us forward. But we need to be practical too as well. We need to say, okay, I can handle this. I don't want to add one more thing because I feel like that could be the straw that broke the camel's back type of deal. So just be very aware with this during this time. So let's see the energy that spirit is bringing forward for us. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Here we have joyous. I love being told to be joyous. It's like, just remember to be happy, to embrace what you love, to embrace what you desire, to embrace the joy that you need within your life, to let yourself shine. Joyous is so important. And it's something that we forget about. As I know, I always tell you guys the story of when I was in college and I had a professor that would always say, are you happy? And I would really think, what does happy have to do with it? You have to get things done. You have to be pushing forward, pushing forward. And now I realize happy is so important. Joyous, having a joyous heart and leading forward with joy is so beautifully important. And it's something that we so easily forget about because we're achieving our next goal, right? We're pushing forward in a practical, purposeful, powerful way. But we need to have joy in our hearts, especially during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Okay. So we're going to talk about this time a little bit more astrologically. So again, this is an excellent time for clear thinking. This is a time of good judgment. It's a time of organization. It's a time of good concentration and memory. We can really get things done. We can execute it quite well. This is also a fantastic time for business. We're also going to find ourselves to be respected business people. Now, that might sound funny to some of us because we're more free flowing, but the King of Swords is the highest court card of the swords. And with that energy, it's like, I know what I'm doing. I can give voice to it. I can articulate it really well, and I can push me forward. So with Mercury sextile Saturn, business deals, this is an ideal time for business deals. We can see things, pushing forward in a way that we hadn't expected before. This is a great time for signing contracts, for negotiation, for long-term, investments, and for good long-term planning. And we have that aptitude. We can be very worried if we have that aptitude during this time. We can sit there and say, oh my gosh, you know, it's so funny. I talked to one of my brothers and he's so business minded. He's so structured in order and he'll start talking about things and it'll make me anxious. I'll sit there and be like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what you're talking about. And you can start to feel like you failed because you didn't start investing, or worrying about your 401k or have a 401k or whatever it is that, that he's going on about. But here, I see you slowly and steadily moving forward towards prosperity, towards success, towards bounty, towards what you need. You are worried that you're not doing it right. And you know what? You might not be doing it all perfectly, and that's okay. You'll get there over time. As things start to come into your sphere of consciousness and understanding, you'll start to kind of put that in your back pocket and say, well, I have to remember this, or I have to look at this, or I have to push forward this way. And that's going to be a very good thing for you because we have the Ace of Wands. Now, as much as we had the Ace of Wands reversed in the energy to be mindful of, here we have the Ace of Wands upright. This is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of, of passion, of insight, of seeing your career, seeing what you want, and pushing you forward in a direction or in a way that you hadn't thought possible because it's letting you shine. You're going to start to see yourself being more creative. You're going to start to see yourself, yes, thinking in the box, but also making that box, making that space, making that understanding your own. With the Nine of Swords, there's a lot of worry, doubt, and fear. You can find yourself up at night, worrying, stressed out. You might not even know why you're stressed out. If you have one of those watches that monitors everything, you can see, it could buzz and say, remember to relax. You could be like, what the heck are you telling me to relax for? I'm in the middle of a really enjoyable, social interaction, and you're telling me to relax. We're going to be low key worrying. And we have a tendency as air sign energies to low key worry. So being aware of that, just because our mind works so quickly, because we can go down one avenue and we can see one person's point and we can see the other person's point and we can see one person's fault and the other person's fault. This is a time where we can feel overwhelmed by that and want to reject it. Saturn likes order, right? Mercury doesn't, right? A mercurial temperament is one that you can't really predict, but Saturn likes order. Saturn likes rules. And even though we're in, a Mercury retrograde right now, we're not going to feel those effects really hindering us on these days. And that's going to be really a great thing. And we're in, the post shadow period with the 19th, I believe. So here, there is a sense of like, okay, I can worry. And I can be worried because of the Mercury retrograde. I can be worried because I'm not making myself super understood. Mercury retrograde can also be really, really hard for people with ADHD or, something akin to that, because either your mind is going so fast, you just can't keep up with it and you can't feel like you're articulating, or sometimes it goes slower. It's like, I'm trying to swim through and get my thoughts. So just be aware of this. The King of Swords, this is us. We're coming through as a king, as somebody who is tenacious, as somebody who is knowledgeable, as somebody who, is cutting through doubts, fears, negativities, hurts, pains, disappointments, and really heading in the direction of what we want, heading in the direction of where we want to go. So that's going to be a huge thing for us during this time. We're not really going to see doors just magically opening as much as we want to on these days. This is going to be a real time of organizing what we have and not pushing doors open and juggling more and putting more on our plate. That's actually something we have to be very mindful of. We can put a lot more on our plate. We can say, oh, I can do this, I can do that. That's great. We can start dipping our toes in, getting the knowledge for it. But we need to be mindful of overwhelming ourselves and being overwhelmed by too many ideas or too many obligations weighing down on us. The Three of Pentacles, I love this Three of Pentacles because I love the spider's web right above her head, if you can see that right there. And there's a sense of weaving so much in together. She's making a blanket right here. You have to weave in the ends, right? So there is a sense of I'm weaving together and I'm creating slowly and steadily and beautifully what will comfort me, what will have me be secure, and what will help me to move forward in what I love and what I desire. There's also a sense of prosperity in our dreams, prosperity in our thoughts during this time. It's not working with everybody else. We might actually find too many ideas, too many questions, too much coming at us to just be completely overwhelming. And that's where Spirit says, again, be mindful, let yourself slow down, let yourself calm down, let yourself follow one idea and kind of like a thread, pulling a thread out, let you follow it to its completion and then pull the other thread and see how that goes. See how you can braid it all together or see how you can, use each one individually. That's going to be very important for us during this time. Guard your money, okay? Be mindful with your money. That's really going to help you succeed, achieve, and look at things more long term. It's not that necessarily people are going to try and rob from us during this time, though we can find people wanting to do underhanded things, to make themselves come out on top and not really care if we don't ourselves. But here she has her foot on two coins, she has a jug on another. It's like, even though it looks like I'm being passive here, I am absolutely knowing where I stand. I'm absolutely knowing the prosperity and the worth that I have around me. With the Knight of Pentacles, this is Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We are slowly and steadily moving towards our prosperity, towards our success, towards what we want in life. We can also have, helpful information coming from an Earth sign energy or somebody who says, hey, look at it this way. Hey, maybe you take this and you spin it like this, or you look at it like that, or you'll really enjoy XYZ. And then we start to open up that door just a little bit and we're like, oh, wow, this opens up a new world for me financially, prosperously. It's money or what we value as much as money coming into our lives and blessing us. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. This is the Prince of Pentacles reversed. So it's very interesting is that we have the Ace of Wands reversed as an energy to be mindful of. And now we have a Prince of Pentacles reversed. These are both energies that are going to bless us, but we can find that there are secrets around finances that are coming to fruition or we need to be aware of. Don't just take people's word for it blindly. Look things up, research, dive deeper. That's going to be something that'll be very beneficial to us. There is also a sense here of planning things through, okay? Of not being rash and brash, because there's an energy around us that's either going to want to push us in a certain direction, like, oh, you have to hurry up, you have to hurry up. But if you stay calm, if you stay centered, you will find that you move forward in a way that it's like, oh, I'm glad I did this. Oh, I'm glad it's working like this. Like you find a joyous understanding. Whereas if you're being pushed, you just feel rushed, you feel anxious, you feel overwhelmed. It moves us to our subconscious message from spirit, and this is gratitude. We have to be grateful, joyous and grateful. Gratitude in being able to show up in our existence, gratitude in the small little things that we take for granted, that if they are ever taken away, we realize how significant they are. We realize how important they are. So just be aware here during this time to have gratitude for the little things, even things that absolutely annoy us. It's like, I'm grateful, I'm able to teach this thing, or I'm grateful I'm able to, have my independence, or, whatever it is. I'm grateful even for that job that I might hate right now because I know what I don't want, you know? And it brings us then, or those people in our lives that are really trying us. And we're like, I'm grateful that I'm not you. I'm grateful. And I'm sending love your way so that you can heal, because there's obviously a lot going on in your life. But I'm grateful I'm standing where I am. It moves us to our tarot energy of the Queen of Cups, our subconscious tarot energy. And the Queen of Cups is healing, beautiful love. If you have strong water sign energy in your chart, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, that comes through very strongly here subconsciously. But also know that you're being led by your heart, which is a very Libra thing to be. Sometimes I'm always surprised that Libras aren't water sign energies more, because you're so led by your heart. You're so, connected with your heart that it's just a comfortable place for you to be. It can also be an overwhelming place for you to be. There's always a double edge. There's always two ways of it going with the Libra, or with anybody really, but the two ways come out a little bit more with the Libra energy. So here with the Queen of Cups, there's healing. Here with the Queen of Cups, there's love. There's also a connecting with your heart chakra, with what you love and desire and what you're building in your life. And really focus on that heart chakra and say, okay, how am I opening the doors to me? Okay, how am I embracing what I love and want and need in my life? And how are the doors opening? There is a sense at times that emotions can overwhelm us. We can feel things a little bit too deeply. We can consider ourselves too sensitive, which it isn't a bad thing. We just might need to find our place in the world, with that sensitivity being a blessing instead of feeling like a curse. All right. With the Queen of Cups, people who have strong Queen of Cups energy in their lives, they're more called to be healers. They're more called to be teachers. They might be a shaman in ancient cultures or other cultures. In our world, we can find, in our Western world, or our world in general, we can find that finding the place for a person who's ruled with their heart, who has that connection with spirit, with the air and the heart coming through with the swords and the cups, we can find it a little bit more tricky. So you might find it a little bit more tricky, and that's okay. It's part of your journey. It's part of the reason why you're here on this earthly plane. It can be a beautiful thing. In a Mercury sextile Saturn, it can feel a little bit like, okay, well, I'm kind of conflicted between the practical and the emotional. And spirit is going to tell you the practical can also be emotional. There's a place for your heart, and you're discovering it during these days. And it's going to be a powerful thing. All right, Libra. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in healing, beautiful light, Libra. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. Stay safe. And may God bless. Bye.